Improvement Pill here. Welcome to lesson 11 of the Tamed Course. In our previous lessons, we learned about how habits and willpower work, but today we're going to talk about something that strikes at the root of our problem. We're going to talk about 6 things that you must have in your life. You might be able to build a couple of good habits, you might be able to increase your willpower, but without these 6 fundamental human needs, you will not be able to overcome your addiction for good. And this is a concept that was first introduced by Tony Robbins. So let's jump right into it. The first fundamental human need is a sense of certainty. Human beings need to have some idea of what to expect in the future. For example, going to work for 40 hours a week and knowing that you'll make, say, $500 every single week. If we do not have certainty in our lives, that creates a tremendous amount of stress. Imagine showing up to work every day and not knowing what your paycheck is going to look like at the end of the week. How confident will you be about paying the bills and putting food on the table? When we have a lack of certainty in our lives, we tend to reach for things that do give us certainty. For example, if I smoke a couple of cigarettes or drink a couple of beers, I know that I will feel good. That is for certain. A good way to combat this is by setting up habits with consistent rewards. For example, if I meditate every day in the morning, I know that I will feel better for the rest of the day. But above all, certainty is most needed in terms of job and home security. Forget about trying to build good new habits. Forget about overcoming your addictions without having a steady stream of income, without knowing that you'll have a roof over your head, without knowing that you'll have food to eat every day. It is near impossible to overcome your addiction for good. The second fundamental human need is variety. Now I know, doesn't this contradict what we just talked about? Well, when I say variety, I'm talking about it in the sense that our lives aren't boring. If you're working a 9 to 5 every single day with the same exact routine where you come back home and watch the same TV shows and eat the same food, then you're gonna have an extremely hard time overcoming your addictions, because your addiction offers a sort of excitement. When you're drunk or high, the whole world feels different. It adds some variety. In order for us to combat this, we need to make sure that we have an exciting life. This means having exciting hobbies that really interest us. This means going on exciting trips every once in a while. This means trying out new things, new foods, new ideas, and even meeting new people. If we can bring more excitement into our lives, we'll reach for the excitement that our addiction provides far less often. The third fundamental human need is significance. We need to feel important, like we matter. And this is often done in a variety of different ways. Some people do this by building up a business and making millions. Others do so by getting really good at their craft. And some people even do this by creating unnecessary drama in their lives. Without a source of significance, we'll just reach for our addiction of choice. There's a reason why people like doing drugs like cocaine, because it makes you feel like the most important person in the room. In order to combat this, we need to cultivate our own version of significance, and this differs from person to person. But a general rule of thumb is, if there's something you daydream about, then chances are that dream of yours will provide you with a sense of significance. The fourth fundamental human need is love and connection. We human beings are social creatures. It's actually been found that if you do not socialize with anyone for a long period of time, your brain will actually shrink. We need to form intimate bonds with people. We need to care about others and also feel like others care about us. And this is one of the most common fundamental human needs that is not being properly fulfilled. So many people nowadays spend too much time behind their screens to the point where they no longer even know how to go out there and actually connect with people. If you don't bond with others in real life, then you'll find yourself reaching for bad habits that can fulfill this need. That's why there's so many people nowadays who are addicted to things like social media or even pornography. So many young men nowadays watch pornography because it tricks your brain into thinking that you are being loved by dozens of women unconditionally. In order to combat this, we need to work on our social skills. We need to be able to hold deep and meaningful conversations with people in real life. And if you're having trouble with any of this, I do have a couple of videos on communication skills that I will link to in the description box below. The fifth fundamental human need is growth. We human beings need to see progress or improvement in our lives. We need to see that if we're working on something every single day, that we're getting better or getting better results. This is why so many people with good paying jobs still end up quitting after a while, because they see no room for improvement. They see very little or no increase in pay. They see no opportunity to climb within the company, and because of that, they feel a strong urge to leave. Now, you don't necessarily have to see progress at work. A lot of people fulfill their need for progress by reaching for their goals. Someone who starts hitting the gym on a regular will see clear progress in the amount of weight he can lift as well as in his body. If you do not have some sort of positive growth in your life, then you're going to look for it elsewhere. And many people actually find progress in in their addiction. They build more and more tolerance to their substance of choice, and their addictions get worse and worse, but they still stay around because it fulfills their need for progress. It just so happens that this progress isn't good. In order to combat this, we need to make sure that we're making positive progress somewhere in our lives. That's why focusing on self-improvement, watching videos like this, and applying the lessons to our lives is so powerful, because building good new habits and working on ourselves can fulfill this need. The sixth and final fundamental human need is a sense of contribution. Studies have actually found that a large majority of the happiest people in the world are the ones who give back. When you provide happiness for others, that makes you happy as well. It shows you that you're capable of giving value to others, and this ties back with the fundamental need to feel significant. Now, this need can be fulfilled in a couple of ways. You could give back by doing some community service, you could help out your friends and family whenever they're in need, and you could also do this by working on yourself so that you can bring more to the table. If you work on yourself and become a happier person, you can make others around you happier as well. And that's it. These are the 6 fundamental human needs that we need to fulfill. If you are lacking in any of these areas, you will find it near impossible to overcome your addiction. And this is because your addiction is fulfilling the need for you. This is the final video of the Tamed course. At this point, you now know everything you need to know in order to overcome your addiction. If you don't, I suggest you click on the link in the description box below and rewatch some of the lessons. But I will sum up our strategy one last time to make sure that you're on the right path. In order for us to overcome our addictions, we need to fulfill these 6 fundamental human needs. We do this by using our knowledge of willpower and habits to build a single keystone habit. This keystone habit will make us stronger and allow us to build other good habits down the line. So continue to focus on building your keystone habit, get it to the line of automaticity, which again can take up to 9 months, and start fulfilling your 6 fundamental human needs. As each of these 6 are being naturally fulfilled, you should find it easier and easier to stay away from your addiction of choice, and eventually it will no longer be a major problem in your life. The Tamed course was made possible with the help of the patrons of this channel. If you found any value in this course and would like to give back, as well as help me continue to make courses like this down the line, then I'd be truly grateful if you could become a patron too. All of my patrons receive perks and benefits, which you can find out more about right here. The Tamed course may be over, but I may occasionally add additional videos to the course if I ever come across any valuable information. So I wish you the best of luck in overcoming your addiction, and stay tuned.